Yesterday in class, we glued down our heroes with good composition, and we drew their hair, and we also drew lines, organic lines on the inside to create these smaller organic shapes. So this is what it should look like today. It should have a thick, bold outline on the outside, and the inner line should be done in a thinner black line. So I will show you how to do that today. Today you'll have a ballpoint pen and a Sharpie. We're actually going to start with the Sharpie. I would like for you to start with your outline of your hair, and you are going to very carefully, slowly, so that it is a nice, neat line. You are going to go over your hair, turning the paper if you need to make it easier for yourself. Just the very outline. So I'm not going inside yet, I'm just doing the very outside. You can't erase Sharpie, so I want you to give your sincere effort to make it as smooth as possible. Now, this is not thick enough. I want to show you how to make a thick outline so it really stands out from the background. To create a thick line, you are going to go around the outline again, just about not even a quarter inch around that outline, just doing a double outline. Imagine that you are driving around the hair, and it needs to be the same distance all the way around. I'm turning my paper as needed to help me draw, and again, I want a very smooth line. I'm just focusing on the spacing. That's going to end up touching, that's okay. And filling it in. Okay, to create the solid black outline, very slowly and carefully, going the same way as the actual lines, I'm going to very carefully fill this in. Don't get into a rush. We want this to look very nice and neat. We're going to spend several weeks on this, so it's worth taking our time to make it look very neat. I'm going to go as slow as I need to make sure as I fill this in that I am staying in the line. So that double outline I'm now filling in with Sharpie. And when you are done, it should be solid black all the way around. I'm going to do about half of it for this demo, and then I'll show you the inside. Go as slow as you need to keep it in the lines. Okay, I'll do about half so that I can show you what to do with the inside now. You have divided your hair shape into smaller organic shapes. For the inside lines, you don't need to do a double thickness. It's just one Sharpie line over it. Turn in your paper as you need to. To do those lines. Again, I want you to go as slow as you need to get this very nice and neat. All right. So at this point, after I finish doing my thick outline and my inside, I'm actually done with the Sharpie. You are not going to use the Sharpie anymore. The Sharpie creates a thick line, and we don't want thick lines everywhere. So that's why we also have a ballpoint pen, because this is going to give us really fine lines. So everything about the hair is organic. So when we go to work inside the hair, everything should be organic. The hair is very organic. And what we are going to do now is fill these spaces with different expressive lines. For example, I could do some curly lines, wavy curly lines in this space, and I want to go from edge to edge. I'm filling in that whole space. And try to imagine the space continues on, and I can add little details. Maybe I'll add some little lines just to make it more interesting and have more detail. I'm using pen, so if I make a mistake, I'm not worried about it. Nobody will ever notice it in the scheme of things. So I have one expressive line design in that one shape. I've used it, I'm gonna move on. In a different shape, I'll use a different design. So maybe now I'll do swirls, and I will fill up this whole space with swirls. If I make a tiny mistake, maybe I made that one too small, that's fine. Nobody will ever notice that tiny mistake as I'm working. And I'm just filling this one space with swirls. And of course, you can do whatever organic lines that you want to do. The lines you choose are totally up to you. We did so many expressive lines last week that you know how to make so many different kinds of lines. It will be no problem to think of all sorts of different ones. So what I want to show you is that the design stays inside of the shape. It does not go out. And I'm using a different design for each shape. All right, and those are your directions for today.